Ladies and gentlemen, we might be in for one hell of a October surprise, and guess what we're going to be digging up? 2016, because Trump authorizes declassification of all Russia collusion. Hillary Clinton's email probe documents as well. So not only do we already know, thanks to the Mueller probe, that all of that Russia shit was bunk, and now we're going to be digging into Hillary Clinton's emails a little bit better than what James Comey did. Will this lead to a perp walk for anybody in the old Obama administration? I don't know, but I think it's going to get real spicy here in the next few days, especially with Bill Barr and the DOJ pulling a secret meeting, or not a secret meeting, but rather an impromptu meeting for later today. I think some people are going to be packing their bags and taking an unexpected trip to Gitmo here in the near future. So let's take a look at what led to this point. So it all started with a video that I did about a week ago when James Ratcliffe declassified some information and sent it off to Lindsey Graham about Operation Crossfire Hurricane, which sounds like an old kid's toy from the 90s. I'll link to that video so we don't have to wade through any of the old knowledge that we already know. Quick backstory on the letter itself. It just said that Hillary Clinton initially floated the idea of stirring up a Russian-Trump alliance heading into the 2016 election, and that was all in an attempt to obfuscate Hillary Clinton's email server catastrophe. But this whole Crossfire Hurricane investigation was originally nothing. Nobody figured it would amount to anything. All the FISA documents came back negative, and it just looked like it was a total figment of everyone's imagination. So here's a little backstory. Justice Department Inspector General Michael Horowitz, a long-awaited report on the FBI's Crossfire Hurricane investigation is finally out, and notwithstanding furious efforts from all quarters to claim otherwise, it fails to neatly validate anyone's favorite political narrative. Contra the hopes of Donald Trump's more ardent admirers, it fails to turn up anything resembling a deep state cabal within the FBI's plotting against the president, or deliberate abuse of surveillance authorities or political ends. Yet it also paints a bleak picture of the Bureau's vaunted vetting process for warrant applications under the FISA, Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, documenting a host of material omissions or misrepresentations in the government case for wiretapping erstwhile Trump campaign advisor Carter Page, whose privacy was invaded for nearly a year on disturbingly thin grounds. Though it does not describe an investigation motivated by political bias, it is a textbook account of confirmation bias that should raise disturbing questions about the adequacy of the FISA process, not just in this investigation. So allegedly, Crossfire Hurricane merely uncovered that the FISA process is complete bunk. We figured out that it was just a rubber stamping process. Nobody did any background checks into figuring out if a FISA request was valid. It was merely some bureaucratic red tape that needed to get cut, and the right people were in the right places in order for one side of the aisle to take advantage of this situation. And what we heard, right before this time was the basis for the current Obamagate scandal, which Crossfire Hurricane partially uncovered. If you remember back in the 2016 campaign, Trump was always saying how the Obama administration was working against them, tapping the phone lines, just trying to mess with them, and everybody, even his supporters at the time, were just kind of, show us the proof, or you're just making up stories. It energized the part of the base, but anybody who's looking for facts was just, okay, Don, we'll sweep that under the rug for right now, and we kind of like the rest of your platform, just quit with the conspiracy theories. But lo and behold, it looks like Mr. Obama was holding a bit of a grudge from that whole birther thing from his first term. And fingers crossed, the only president who, in his own words, said held a scandal-free administration might be, if not for maybe some of his closest cohorts, might be subject to years of soap on a rope, if you catch my drift. So now that you know what Crossfire Hurricane is all about, let's get you up to speed with what we're dealing with right now. President Trump on Tuesday said he has fully authorized the total declassification of any and all documents related to the Russia investigation and the FBI's investigation into former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server. I have fully authorized the total declassification of any and all documents pertaining to the single greatest political crime in American history, the Russia hoax. Likewise, the Hillary Clinton email scandal. No redactions. The president tweeted Tuesday night. All Russia hoax scandal information was declassified by me long ago. Trump tweeted. Unfortunately for our country, people have acted very slowly, very, very slowly. Everybody agrees. Especially since it is perhaps the biggest political crime in the history of our country. He added, act! Ah! You know he means business when he has 3 exclamation points. Last year, the president gave Attorney General Bill Barr authority to declassify any documents related to the surveillance of the Trump campaign in 2016. Hence the previous part of this video explaining the operation named by an edgy second grader. Trump, at the time, also ordered members of the intelligence community to cooperate with Barr's probe. Allies of the president, including Republicans on Capitol Hill, leading their own investigation into the origin of the Trump-Russia probe, have criticized officials like FBI Director Christopher Wray. I wanted to say James Comey, but he's long fucking gone. And CIA Director Gina Haspel, claiming that the directors have been blocking the release of documents. Well, we know Christopher Wray has been with the FBI in high-ranking positions, never exactly a field operative. One of these, I don't want to say deep state individuals, but definitely a shady character, to say the least. The president's tweets come after Director of National Intelligence John Ratcliffe declassified documents that revealed former CIA Director John Brennan briefed former President Obama on Hillary Clinton's purported plan to tie then-candidate Donald Trump to Russia as a means of distracting the public from her use of a private email server ahead of the 2016 election. You guys remember 4 years ago, around this time, when that private email server was everywhere in right-wing circles? Y'all remember why that was such a big issue? Because it just reads here on the page, I don't know, it just seems normalized at this point, but she was conducting government business on a unsecured server. She was also stupid enough to do all of her personal and business dealings on that same server, and that was all the information that WikiLeaks got out there, like all of her speeches that she had for the big banks out there that revealed things like I have a personal and public opinions. She's for open borders. It's weird. She really should be running in 2020 because those are now mainstream Democratic talking points. Because look at Joe Biden. Do you actually think that, okay, maybe this week he's for an actual border, but he's still aligned with Bernie Sanders, AOC, all of those progressive and socialists. But maybe Joe's too demented to actually have a private and a public persona. I think it's just all kind of melted together into this circus creature that we have before us. So here's a memo that was declassified partially, at least, when John Brennan briefed Obama on the previous matter. We're getting additional insight into Russian activities from Redacted. We'll eventually know who that is. Brennan notes, read, cite, summarizing. Alleged approved by Hillary Clinton. A proposal from one of her foreign policy advisors to vilify Donald Trump by stirring up a scandal claiming interference by the Russian security service. Brennan's notes read. The notes state on 28th of July in the margin, Brennan writes POTUS, but that section of the note is redacted currently. Any evidence of collaboration between Trump campaign plus Russia, the notes read. The remainder of the notes are redacted except for the margins which read JC, Dennis, and Susan. Sounds like a party. The notes don't spell out full names, but JC could be referring to then FBI Director James Comey. Susan could refer to National Security Advisor Susan Rice, almost the vice president for Biden, by the way. And Dennis could be referred to then Obama Chief of Staff Dennis McDonough. Very interesting. Very interesting, all the people that were linked to this. The declassification comes after Ratcliffe last week shared newly declassified information with the Senate Judiciary Committee, which revealed that in September 2016, U.S. intelligence officials forwarded an investigative referral on Hillary Clinton purported approving a plan concerning U.S. presidential candidate Donald Trump and Russia hackers hampering U.S. elections in order to distract the public from her email scandal. But of course, what does the Hillary campaign have to say? Nick Merrill, Clinton's spokesperson, called the allegations baseless bullshit last week. A spokesman for Clinton did not immediately respond to Fox News' request for comment on the declassified documents. But Ratcliffe, in a statement released after the information was made public, pushed back on the idea he was advancing Russian disinformation. To be clear, this is not Russian disinformation and has not been assessed as such by the intelligence community, Ratcliffe said in a statement to Fox News. I'll be briefing Congress on the sensitive sources and methods by which it was obtained in the coming days. So then this leads us to the nebulous Durham probe, and what is that going to mean for the future? A source familiar with Durham's investigation told Fox News last month that parts of what Huber was investigating in 2017, that's attorney John Huber, who is investigating the Clinton Foundation, which we all know is an upstanding nonprofit entity that only helps people in Haiti and doesn't fund Bill Clinton's alleged trips on the Lolita Express to Jeffrey Epstein's island. It probably has nothing to do with that. And they are going to be a part of the Durham probe as well. In November 2017, then Attorney General Jeff Sessions, a rhino piece of shit, directed Huber, the U.S. Attorney for Utah, and other senior prosecutors to evaluate certain issues involving the sale of Uranium-1 and other dealings related to the Clinton Foundation. Sessions tapped Huber after requests by congressional Republicans who had been calling for the appointment of a special counsel to review the matters. So this is big news. Who knows what it's actually going to lead to? Everyone and their mother has suspected the Clinton Foundation of being dirty since day one. We have all the emails from the WikiLeaks server leak in 2016, so we know that there's quite a bit of phony shit out there, and those emails are still out there, by the way, if you want to do some casual nighttime reading. We'll just have to see what later in the day this DOJ meeting leads to, if we're going to have any sort of concrete claims being made coming out of it, or if we're just going to have another update about maybe something totally unrelated, but the fact that Trump dropped that tweet last night and there was an emergency meeting call today kind of leads me to believe that something is going to come of this. And I think somebody is getting indicted soon. Somebody big? Probably. Obama big? Clinton big? Probably not right now. But buckle up. Still a few more weeks left to the election, and it's going to get crazy. Thanks for sticking around, guys, and hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, or if you want to discuss anything further when it comes to what you think the Durham probe is going to find, what you think's going to come of this declassification, or anything else in regards to deep state corruption, feel free to drop it in that comment section down below, or if you want to stay notified as to when I upload 3 videos a day, guys, hit that subscribe button, or just doing something as simple as dropping a like gets the videos out there and helps the channel grow, which we're trying to do, is we're finding the truth where, well, outside of what, Fox News, I don't think you're hearing a lick of this on CNN. They're probably still bitching about Trump with his mask off, fucking 2 nights ago at this point. Suck a dick and put some new seats on those chairs, except for the special ones that Stelter and Lemon request. But I thank you guys for the gift of your time. It's been fun going through all this disinformation and parsing out the truth for everyone out there, and I greatly appreciate your attention. I've been Don Consuelo, and I want you guys to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.